Hi, we're the Clark family, and we've sold our house and packed up our lives and moved to Galicia in northern Spain.
So follow us as we start our new lives, learn new skills, join a new community, and try to live a more sustainable life.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Escape to El Campo. Nailed it first time. Yeah, we've had a busy old week this week. Firstly, we're in the polytunnel because it's on and off with rain at the minute, so we're just hiding out of the way. Even though the sunshine's come out now, and now we're slowly cooking to death inside here. But it's been raining again in a minute, so the plants need it outside. To be fair, it's been we've had a dry spell, haven't we?
Yeah, I'm not gonna miss not having to carry buckets of water to water the tomatoes tonight. Not going to miss that.
No, not at all. It won't take an hour to do the watering tonight.
No, my arms are going to enjoy the rest.
Yeah, but just think of the guns you've got, eh? From that. Or not.
Or not.
Yeah, so a couple of firsts this week. We completed our first chicken harvest. I'm not sure it was something I was particularly looking forward to, but it's something we've talked about for a long time, and we got ourselves all organised and got all the right kit, and we got it done, didn't we? I thought it went quite well.
Yeah, I think it went super well. We learned a lot of lessons.
Yep.
More to do with it's going to take a long time for the pot of water to get to temperature.
Oh yeah, how long does a pot of water take to boil?
It depends how big the pot is.
Depends how much you're watching it, I suppose.
No, it didn't depend on us watching it.
It does, because watch pot never boils.
Yeah.
Have you never heard that?
Yeah, I've heard of it, but I don't think it's true.
Yeah. Anyway, we didn't have to boil it. We had to get it up to about 60 degrees, but it took forever, didn't it?
I think it took about 2 hours.
Do you think so? You think that's how long it took?
Well, you left me for a little bit and went for a half-an-hour Teams meeting because you had to go to do a bit of work.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And we did that first before we did anything else, before we got anything else ready. Then you buggered off, came back, and then it still wasn't ready.
Still wasn't ready.
I reckon it took about 2 hours. And how big is it?
Is it 70?
70 litres.
70 litre pot.
Yeah, so next time we need to start it at like 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, we need to get that on first before anything else, don't we? We need to get that pot set up.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest
the biggest lesson.
The lesson that we learned.
Yeah, it just took forever, didn't it?
Yeah, and once we'd got ourselves into the routine at the start of what we were doing,
yeah, but it went quite
really smoothly.
And once we'd sort of butchered, well, we didn't butcher it, did we? Not as such. We didn't take breasts off. We just kept it as a whole chicken. Is that butchering? Is that the right word? Anyway, let's call it butchering for the sake of this video. Once Emma had a go at it, and I had a go at it, and we sort of got our technique down a bit, we were flying through them, really, weren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Just sort of like, well, rather, because for a start it was like, oh, let's sort of do everything together, and then once we figured out the bits that we were good at, it was like, right, while you're doing this, I'll do that, and while I'm doing this, you'll do that, and it just kind of flowed, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Yeah. The Diplomadora, the chicken plucker, and his son, that worked quite well, didn't it? I think. Yeah,
I don't think that we would be able to sell the meat that we produced.
Well, you won't be able to anyway, but
no, but it doesn't look sale quality.
No, but it's fine for our purposes, isn't it?
Yeah, 100% fine for our purposes.
Yeah. The second chicken that went in, we let the water get a bit too hot, you know, because we'd messed around so much with the first one, you know, learning how to butcher it. By the time we got back to the second one and we'd left the gas on with it cooking, didn't really give much thought to it, did we? We didn't check the temperature, and the second chicken that went in, it had started to cook essentially. So when it came out of the water and went into the defeatherer, it wasn't just defeathering, it was de-skinning and de-limbing and de-everythinging, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because we'd let the water begin to cook the chicken. So that was another delay where we we checked the temperature, it had gone up too much. We had to wait for it to cool down. We had to add cold water to wait for it to cool down, didn't we?
It's ironic, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
That we spent so long waiting
For
hot.
it, and then we let it get too warm.
Yeah.
So that was another lesson learned,
Yeah.
which we'll know for next time.
Needless to say, that was the chicken that we ate. All the others are in the freezer, but we decided that that was going to be the one that we were going to eat first, and it was delicious.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, we had roast chicken, didn't we?
Yeah.
With it, minus its wing that it had lost.
Minus its wing, yeah. But no, it was
And skin.
and skin.
Yeah, so I think it all went pretty well, didn't it? The setup seemed to work quite well. Once we got going and we sort of got into a rhythm of it, it was quite efficient, I think.
Yeah.
And quite quick.
Yep.
We
We were also really impressed that they all weighed between 2.8 and 3.2 kilos. And I spoke to a neighbour and I said, "Is 3 kilos, is that about right?" She said, "Yes, about right." So we went shopping the other day, didn't we? We went to Lidl, not sponsored, and and we had a look at the chickens in the fridge, and they were all about 2 kilograms.
Yeah.
And they were €4 a kilogram.
Yeah.
Just over
Just
€4.
for
So yeah, we're producing €12 chickens.
12-13 euro chickens, aren't we?
Yeah.
Um,
That's not bad at all, is it?
no, and that's Lidl prices as well, and I'm sure those chickens aren't
Outdoors,
outdoor chickens, are they?
eating grass,
No, exactly.
giving bits of
So-
lettuce.
Yeah. Yeah, we're quite pleased with that. I mean, obviously, we you don't factor in the labour of time of cleaning them and moving them around and
No.
feeding them and keeping them watered and tucking them into bed every night because they're too fat to get up the ladder to put themselves to bed at night. So that little rigmarole we have.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was all the white chickens, which we think are the Cornish cross type chickens. They all went. They were the bigger birds, and the red ones that are left, they're the more feisty ones. They're the ones who like to have a bit of a fight every night, don't they? Before we put them to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More so with you.
Yeah. So we have a bit of a dust up every night when I'm trying to put them to bed. They don't seem to appreciate I'm doing it for their safety. They just think I'm this giant who likes to chase them around every evening.
Maybe it's a bit of fun for them.
Maybe it is. I bet when they get in that coop, I bet they're having a right laugh at my expense. Did you see him tonight? Did you see how I pecked him tonight? Hey.
I bet that's exactly what they do.
I bet they do, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure they do.
It's funny though, because it's always the last one at the end, the horrible one, that always likes to have a go.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, it frowns. But then he's like looking around, like, where's everybody gone with his jerky head? And then he's like looking up, like, they're up there. Well, yeah, that's where we're trying to put you. I don't want to be put there. I want to know where everybody else is. Well,
Not having it, is he?
no, it's a knob.
Yeah, so that went well. I can't say that I was looking forward to it. We'd kept quails in the past back in the UK, and we'd butchered some of them, and it absolutely broke my heart, didn't it? When we butchered them, I think we'd kept them for the eggs and we kept them for the meat, but
you couldn't eat them.
But I couldn't eat them after they'd been butchered, and I think that was because I'd let them become more like pets than not. Do you know what I mean? They weren't a commodity. Is that the right word? Commodity?
Yeah, I suppose, but I don't understand why.
I don't either, to be honest. Whereas this didn't bother me at all. Not like this. I'm sitting on a bucket and I can feel it slowly collapsing underneath me. So if it looks like I'm sinking into the ground,
It's because you are.
it's because the bucket's going to collapse in a minute. Look at it going.
Oh golly, I gave you the more sturdy bucket as
I
well.
know. It's all that chicken I've been eating. So yeah, so that went pretty well. Yeah, like I say, it's not affected me as emotionally like it did previously in the past with the quails.
Yeah, you only did a couple of tears, didn't you?
What, this time? I didn't do any tears at all. It was very matter of fact and very business-like. So we got it done and we had a good result, and we're ready for the next 9, the red ones. The old royster doysters, they're going in next time, aren't they?
Yeah.
Hey, if we can catch them.
I reckon that we want to do the horrible one first if we can.
Yeah, if we can catch it. He's always last though, isn't he? He's the one who keeps out of the way.
It's hilarious because you go to get him and he's all, they've started cockerelling. I think we mentioned that last week, and he's the one that's the most vocal. And when you come in, he's the one that comes at you like, what do you want? And the second that you go to like get him, he like ducks himself down really, really small and just goes under all the other chickens.
Yeah, dives out the way, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He knows what's coming.
Yeah, so he gives it all that, and it's not really.
Yeah, so we've got a bit of footage of me building the Displumadora, which went together pretty easily, and a bit of footage of the actual process and our setup of us doing the biz with the chickens, the harvest, as it were.
The harvest. So if you don't want to watch it, fast forward now.
So this is the chicken plucker. I'm going to put it together this morning, ready for later on in the week. I think I said in the other video that it was German made. It's not, it's actually Austrian. So apologies for all you Germans out there, or Austrians out there. Yeah, it's like I say, upon first inspection, looks incredibly well made. But we'll see how it performs over the next few days. Okay, there we go. She's built. That was fairly easy to put together. Yeah, just one or two points underneath here. These holes don't line up to get the bolt through, so I'm gonna have to drill that out to get another bolt in here. And also, one of the instructions I didn't really understand. I'm not really clear why we had to do this. I don't know if you can see. Where are we? So this instruction here, which insert this finger into the plate, which is where are they? Yeah, so these fingers down here, they face down underneath this plate, presumably to clean the feathers out, to push them to the waste side of things as it goes round. Well, I can't really understand why there was just one finger left out, other than to show you how difficult they are to get in. So you just have to put that one finger in. So I can't, yeah, like I said, I can't really understand why that was left out. Why wouldn't it not be installed at the time? Anyway, it's in. It's working. There's a water inlet here, which keeps everything, the feathers all moving downwards into the waste at the bottom. So yeah, we're all ready to go. The only thing I do need to get is I don't have an extension lead with a European socket on. I've only got British ones, so I'm gonna have to get one of them. So we're not doing this indoors, because I guess it's going to be quite messy once the feathers start coming out. Okay, so days arrived for harvesting 10 of the chickens, 10 of the biggest ones. It's not something we've ever done before, so we're on a massive learning curve here. But we've got everything. We've got all set up. We've watched all the videos on YouTube, and we have some assistance from a local. So yeah, here we go. So if we just run through the setup we've got everything set up, ready to go. So this is the cone where the chickens go in upside down. The head pops out at the bottom, and that's where you cut the jugular and bleed them out. So in there, once that's happened, then they go into this pot of water, warm water or hot water. It's not boiling, but what this does is release the feathers from the body. Makes it easier for the Displumadora, or the chicken plucker. So this washing machine type looking thing, you drop your chickens in there for about 30 seconds. It rotates round and removes all the feathers. Well, that's the theory. Obviously, there's water fed into this at the same time, which it's going to collect in this bucket at the bottom. So we'll see how that goes. And then onto the table, where we've got loads of sharp knives ready to go, some bowls for putting liver and heart and that sort of things in. We've got a waste bucket for the bits that we don't want. We're going to keep the feet to one side. We're going to dehydrate them, I think, for the dogs, as a snack for the dogs. So once they're butchered on the butchering table, then they'll go into initially this bucket for a start, without the grass. That's to begin to cool the body down, cool the chicken down, and once it's got to a certain temperature, we will take it out of that bucket and put it into this ice bucket to cool it down further. The reason for this is, and this is something I didn't really think about, is that if you take in, say, 10 chickens in our example, and chucking them in the freezer, the sheer body heat, if you don't cool them down properly from the chickens, will defrost everything in your freezer. So the more we can cool them down before they go in the freezer, the less work the freezer has to do, and less chance we have of everything in the freezer defrosting. We've also turned the freezer down to its maximum temperature, so I think we usually run it at about a -18. We've turned it down to maximum, which I think is about -25, just to give it a bit of leeway and a bit of a helping hand when the chickens do go in there. So that's the setup. We've tried to make it as smooth as possible, sort of Henry Ford production line type affair. We'll see how we go. Okay, so it goes in the cone. Okay, so the chicken's been draining blood for the last, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. Going into a pot about 60 degrees centigrade. This process loosens the feathers up. So we're going to be here for about, I don't know, 40, 50 seconds. Okay, so this is the 10th chicken in there, and I can tell you this water's beginning to hum a little bit now. Looks like it's going to rain, doesn't it?
Mm.
How long's that been?
40 seconds.
Apparently one way you can tell if they're ready to go is when the skin starts coming off their feet like that. Okay, so into the chicken plucker, they just blew my door up. As you can see, I've got some stubborn feathers on here still. So what I could do is dunk it back in the water and chuck it in again. But they seem to be coming out pretty easily, so probably just spend a couple of minutes plucking them, rather than it going around in the machine and damaging the bird. So when we talked to the locals about this machine, nobody uses it because they just do they just take a chicken as and when they're going to eat it, whereas we're doing 10 at a time here because we want to get the freezer stocked up moving forwards and into the winter. We want to have plenty of meat in the freezer for the winter. So I think the aim is to get 50 in the freezer, so we've got one a week. To see us through a year. Still experimenting with the water temperature a bit to see what gives us the best results for getting the feathers off. It's quite hard to control when you're sort of outside and there's wind blowing and lots of variables. So there we go. That's the majority of the feathers off. You know, these aren't for sale. We're not selling these. These are just for our own consumption. So you know, they don't have to be perfect. Okay, so over onto the butchering table now. Okay, so this is how we're butchering. This is how we've seen on YouTube done. It seems to work for us. So we're not professionals. So here we go. So first the legs. So we're just basically finding the joint. And I think one of the takeaway things were if you cut in bone, you're probably doing it wrong. Okay, so now the wing tips, going to take them off because there's no meat on them really. So they're going in the bin. We're going to process these for the dogs as treats for the dogs. Okay, so next it's the neck and the windpipe. You can tell I'm not a professional. I'm wearing this blue glove because I've cut my fingers with a knife. So this is the bit we're looking for here. This windpipe. Okay. Sometimes it comes out like this. Sometimes it comes out all the way in. Well, I assume it's the windpipe anyway. I'm not 100% certain. Next take the neck off. Some people eat the neck. We don't. And again, you're just looking for that. Okay, so that's that. Next is the inside. So pinching this flapper skin. cutting away from the inside so we don't cut any of the organs inside, because even though these chickens have been starved for 24 hours, there's still a possibility of having some sort of feces in there, and we don't want that spoiling the meat. So we're just going to open this cavity up, and then it's a case of getting your hands inside, and you're not sort of really pulling at it initially, you're just sort of trying to free everything up inside. Okay, so you can see the liver and the lungs and the heart there. Just want to free the other end of this tube up. There we go, that's it. Okay, so these are the intestines. These are the bit you don't want to damage. Okay, so that's everything free apart from the poop the poop tube. So what I'm going to do is sort of cut around this. Cut around the anus. Pop on the other side, and there we go. So that's a clean cut. So there's the prepped bird, and then it's just a matter of taking whatever offal that you takes your fancy. Really, we're just taking the liver and the heart for the dogs. We're gonna cut it up for the dogs. We're not offal people. Not yet, anyway. So this green thing here is what we really don't want to. We don't want to damage that. I have in the process of doing this, I have cut it a couple of times, and it is the most bright, vivid green you've ever seen in your life. So I'm steering clear of that. Okay, so that's going in there. I think you can eat this bit here. I think it's maybe the gallbladder or something, but weird again. So we've got the heart and the lungs. There's the lungs. There's the heart. Here's the liver. We'll cook them up for the dogs. Just have a quick clean up inside, any little bits that have been left. Quick rinse off. And there we go, that's it. I mean, it doesn't look like what you buy in Tesco's, but I think for our purposes, and considering we've never done this before, yeah, I think it's okay. So from here, we're going into the first cooling bucket, which has got cold water in, and then what we do is move this one out, which has been cooling, into the freezing cold bucket, which has got ice cubes in. And then this one comes out. This is properly frozen, not frozen, cooled down now, and that's going to get bagged up and into the freezer. We've got potatoes in the ground this week as well, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if Larita messaged to say, right, I'm going to come and show you what you got to do with your potatoes before we seed them. So she turned up. We went into our little cold room, and basically you have to cut them through the main eye and make sure that you've got 2 other eyes either side. And if it's a bigger potato, then you can maybe cut it into 3 pieces, as long as you've got 2 eyes on each piece. And bless her, she's mid-70s. She just got herself down on the floor and I says, do you want a chair? No, I don't want a chair. And we just sat there. How long do you reckon we were sat there for? An hour?
An hour, yeah. Just slicing potatoes up.
Yeah, and I says to her, oh, I know what I'm doing now. I can do the rest. And she says, by yourself? No, we will do this together. And I'd not spent a great amount of time with her before, but I feel like in that hour we became bestest of buddies. So yeah, it was a quality hour spent together, which I very much appreciated. And then
the next day, the tractor come down, didn't it? Pepe was driving the tractor, and it's got like a seating set up on the back, and Florita was sat on the back.
Yeah.
And you went and sat in the other chair. And then Pepe drove you up and down the field, and it sort of opened a furrow up with a tube, and as it opened up, you dropped the potato down the tube.
Yeah.
And then there's 2 other like tines on the back of this potato sowing gizmo, and that sort of put the soil back in again. So it opened it up, dropped the potato down the tube.
Then it closed it and mounded it.
Yeah. And it mounded it up because obviously you have to mound potatoes up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was, and so you had fun, and you nearly did you nearly planted between you 1,000 potatoes, didn't you?
Yeah, which we've found out we discovered before when we googled the breed type variety of potatoes that you could expect up to a ratio of 8 to 1.
Yeah.
And if the 4 of us eat a potato every day for a year, what's that, like 1,500 potatoes?
Yeah.
Which means we've got an excess of 6,500 potatoes potentially coming later on in the year. So if anyone would like to come and visit us and come for a potato festival, then
yeah. So it's potatoes for breakfast, potatoes for lunch, potatoes for dinner, potato snacks,
and we're still going to have about 1,000 left over.
Yeah. Yeah, assuming they all grow. Yeah, I'm sure they will.
Touch wood.
Yeah. Get off. It's my job. Yeah, so the potatoes went in. So we got a little bit of footage of Emma riding on the back of the tractor, planting spuds, haven't we?
Yeah. When they turned up and they said that we're going to go around to the field, Flora said, "Are you scared to get on this?" And I thought, well, I wasn't until you just asked. Now I wonder whether I should be. But no, it wasn't scary. It was quite fun. And again, we just sort of, it was lovely, sunny, well, wasn't it? And we just sort of chatted again. I says to her, I says, I can't believe this is my life.
Shooting potatoes down tubes.
And I also says to her, in England, we take our children to farms and we pay to ride tractors. She didn't know what to say to that.
Yeah, saw the potatoes in the ground, so that's good news. And yeah, we've had a bit of rain on them as well, so I think that's probably helped them. So it's warm and wet at the minute, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
So that's good. And now the potatoes in, because we didn't really know where, because we were sort of being guided by the neighbours, weren't we, about where we should put the potatoes. So now the potatoes are in the ground, we know what sort of space is allocated those potatoes. We've been able to start putting our other stuff in around them, haven't we? So we've planted a load of squash and
sweet
corns and peas.
Sugar snap peas, yeah.
Yeah, sugar snap peas over there.
So I think you can just about make out on the video here these lines of mounds. These are where we planted our ridiculous amount of potatoes the other day on my free tractor ride. So yeah, nice and neat. I don't know whether you can make out on the video, but very annoyingly the grass has already started to come through. Bearing in mind that it's been rotavated and then it's been ploughed, then it's been rotavated, then a tractor's come back over it again to put the potatoes in, and yet you can still see patches over here somewhere where there's green grass coming through already. It's hugely frustrating. So as one of our ideas to try and deal with this grass problem, in this area here on the left of the potatoes and up to the grass, we have planted lots of different types of squash. So butternut squash, pumpkins, mini pumpkins, courgettes, another kind of, two different kinds of squash, I forget what they're called, but they're in. So squash are renowned for being ground covering. So these two rows here are ones that we'd already got started, and then after that there is another 2 rows where we've just planted the seeds, and with them we've planted maize and also peas. So sorry, not maize, sweet corn, which again we started the sweet corn as well in seed trays, and then we put in some pea seeds in with them. And the idea is that the sweet corn obviously grows really tall. These are a bantam type, but they grow to 2 meters. And the peas grow up the sweet corn and use them as a cane. And the squash sort of covers the ground and keeps the water content in for the others. And it's called is it called a Holy Trinity, Adam? Or the 3 sisters, or there's a name for it. But whether or not it'll work with the grass, which I'm definitely certain that you can see is already starting to come through, we don't know. But it's a bit of land. We didn't have anything else that we wanted to put in there. Obviously you can see that we have all of the rest of that land over there that we're also going to be using. It's cost us a few euros in seeds. Hopefully it works. Yeah,
so it's been a busy old week.
It has been a busy old week. The aim is that the squash is going to spread out and get rid of all of this,
cover the ground,
stupid grass that
it's become the bane of our life,
that we cannot get rid of. If anyone's got any top tips for how to get rid of couch/cooch grass,
apart from napalm,
apart from chemicals, we would absolutely love to hear any advice anyone's got, because we've tried smothering it with cardboard and then soil, we've tried rotavating it, we've tried covering it with plastic for 6 months. Nothing seems to be...
Yeah, the plastic thing will work, but it's said on the Royal Agricultural Society that you need to put the plastic down for 2 years.
We don't have 2 years.
So just leave it covered for 2 years and it'll be alright to get rid of it.
Alright.
So...
yeah.
I mean, we've even spoke about getting some pigs and running some pigs over the land for a few weeks to see if they'll sort of root it all up and get rid of it. I don't know whether that would work.
Yeah, or even putting the chickens on it for a couple of weeks and seeing whether they'll get rid of it.
I don't think the chickens will go deep enough. I mean, they keep if they're on it long enough, I think they keep the green down, and perhaps.
No, I think in the summer the hens. I think that the hens would, because they dig, don't they? They dig and scratch around. The chickens don't, because they're lazy and they're fat and lazy and they don't do anything. But I reckon that the hens. Well, you've seen them dust bathing, and scratching around and seeing what they'd find. I'm
still not sure they go deep enough. Whereas I know pigs would proper root around, wouldn't they? Anyways, yeah. So that's in. Yeah. So more crops in the ground. We paid a deposit for the solar panels.
That is exciting.
So we got a shed load of paperwork cause we're in Spain. So there's a load of paperwork to do for that. So which we're slowly working our way through. We've also, well, you guys have received your social security numbers, haven't you? Now?
Yeah.
So in the next week or two, we're going to be able to go down to the local hospital. Well, it's more of a walk-in centre, isn't it?
Yeah,
than
like
a hospital.
medical centre.
And we'll be able to get our medical cards as well then. So we'll have all the health cover, won't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all good.
Not that we've needed it so far, but it's always
you never know,
to know that we can get it. Don't you dare.
Touch wood. Can you smell that?
Is that you?
No, that's not me. The farmers have taken opportunity with the nice warm weather we've had, the sunny weather. All the grass, everybody's been cutting grass and collecting silage, I guess for feeding the cows over the winter. And now they're going around spraying slurry all over the fields, and I can hear a tractor in the background, and there's an almighty whiff has descended upon us in the polytunnel.
Oh, that is vile.
So they're spraying slurry on the fields now, I guess, to get the grass growing again, so they can get another cut out of it for more silage. That's all that's been going past the house recently, is tractor upon tractor with massive trailers on the back full of grass, haven't they? Yeah, almost 24 hours a day. I guess they're all trying to beat this rain that we've got forecast for the next 7 days or so.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a busy old time for the farmers around here.
Yeah, absolutely. Working hard.
Oh, our chickens, the gallinas, the egg-laying chickens, the hens. They hit peak production for one day this week, didn't they?
For one day only.
One day we had 6 eggs, and then I think the following day we had 3 eggs. So I suppose they're just getting into the swing of it. We had 5 today, didn't we?
We had 5 today.
We had 5 today. So we're hoping for another 6 egg day.
Soon.
Yeah, surely, I would have thought. Yeah. So they're going really well. They seem very content and very healthy. Got sparkly eyes on there, and they keep doing their little chicken jump.
They do that, yeah.
With the lettuce and the stuff that we take up for them.
Whenever we first come outside, first thing in the morning or after lunch, or as soon as they spot us when they're not seeing us for a little bit, always like a chorus of all 6 of them, all just like clicking their ways, like, come and see us.
Don't forget we're here.
Yeah. So we always shout back at them, don't we? Bless them.
Yeah. So
yeah, I think that chickens are the best therapy. Not that I need therapy.
Yeah, so see, yeah, 6 egg day, that was good. And the eggs that we are getting, they started off quite
small.
They were small. I mean, you weighed them, didn't you? And you reckoned on a British standard scale they were between a medium and a large.
Yeah, that is recently. That's not when we first got them. No.
Yeah, because they were quite small. But the
smaller ones were small.
They're slowly getting bigger, aren't they? As well. Yeah. The ones we had yesterday, there was a couple. They were massive. They were big eggs, weren't they?
They were definitely large eggs.
Definitely large eggs. What defines a large egg? Is it 15 grams? Did you say? Is it something like
15, like 70.
70 grams. Is that what it is?
I think it's something like that.
Right.
Don't remember off the top of my head.
Egg news. 70 grams. Yeah, that's it for this week then. Thanks for joining us again. If you've liked what you see, if you could give us a thumbs up and subscribe, that would be great, wouldn't it? After my rousing speech last time about getting subscribers, we actually lost more subscribers than we gained last week, so Apologies for that.
Oops.
So we'll see you again next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Yo